I'm about to tell you something nobody wants to admit. The older you get, the harder relationships become. Not just a little harder. 10 times harder. And it's not your fault. Most people think they're getting better at relationships with age. More mature. More experienced. Better at communication. But here's the brutal truth. While you're improving as a person, the dating landscape is collapsing around you. Today I'm breaking down the 6 unavoidable factors that make finding and keeping love exponentially harder as you age. These aren't opinions. These are cold, hard realities backed by psychology, statistics, and real-world experience. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your dating life feels different than it did 5 or 10 years ago. Let's start with the most obvious factor that nobody talks about honestly. Your dating pool shrinks dramatically with every passing year. When you're 22, almost everyone around you is single and looking. College campuses. Entry-level jobs. Social gatherings. Everyone's in the same boat. But by 30? Half your friends are married. By 35? Most of them have kids. By 40? You're looking at a dating pool that's maybe 20% of what it was in your 20s. The math is brutal and unforgiving. Here's where it gets worse. The people who remain in the dating pool at older ages often come with more complicated histories. Divorces. Children from previous relationships. Emotional baggage that weighs tons. Financial entanglements that make simple dating feel like navigating a legal minefield. I'm not saying these people aren't wonderful. Many of them are incredible. But the complexity level jumps exponentially. Dating someone with 2 kids from a previous marriage is fundamentally different from dating someone fresh out of college. The logistics alone can kill a budding romance before it even starts. The second factor is what I call lifestyle calcification. When you're young, you're flexible. You'll stay up until 3 in the morning talking. You'll spontaneously road trip to another city. You'll sleep on an air mattress in a friend's living room. Your life hasn't hardened into fixed patterns yet. But as you age, your lifestyle becomes increasingly rigid. You have routines. Morning coffee at exactly 7:15. Gym on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Dinner with friends every other Friday. You've spent years optimizing your life to work perfectly for you as an individual. Now try fitting another person into that equation. It's like trying to merge 2 completed jigsaw puzzles. Both puzzles are beautiful on their own. But combining them? Nearly impossible without destroying both original images. Your sleep schedule is set. Your social circle is established. Your hobbies are non-negotiable. Your living space is arranged exactly how you like it. Compromise becomes exponentially harder because you're not just adjusting preferences. You're dismantling years of carefully constructed life architecture. I've seen this destroy countless relationships. 2 amazing people who simply cannot bend their established lives enough to accommodate each other. Neither person is wrong. The timing is just brutal. The third factor hits even harder. Financial complexity multiplies with age. When you're 25 and dating, finances are simple. Maybe you split a pizza. Maybe one person pays for movies. The stakes are low because nobody has much anyway. By 35 or 40? You're dealing with mortgages. Retirement accounts. Investment portfolios. Student loan debt. Child support payments. Alimony. Business ownership. The financial landscape becomes a minefield of potential conflicts. One person might be financially conservative, saving 30% of their income. The other might believe in living for today. One person has 100,000 in savings. The other has 50,000 in debt. These aren't small differences. These are fundamental value conflicts that can tear relationships apart. And here's the thing nobody tells you. Financial discussions become mandatory much earlier in older relationships. When you're young, you can date for years before money becomes a real issue. But when you're older, you need to have these conversations within months because the stakes are too high to waste time. Want to combine households? Now you're talking about whose house to sell, how to split equity, whose furniture to keep. Want to get married? Now you need prenups and discussions about inheritance and whose name goes on which accounts. The romance gets suffocated by spreadsheets and legal documents. The fourth factor is what psychologists call increased selectivity. You know yourself better with age. That sounds positive, right? In some ways it is. But it also means your list of deal breakers has grown exponentially. When you're 22, you're figuring out what you want. You'll date different types of people. You're exploring. You're open. Your list of must-haves is short. Your list of absolutely nots is even shorter. By 35, ? You know exactly what you want. And more importantly, you know exactly what you don't want. You've been hurt before. You've learned lessons. You've developed firm boundaries. Your list of deal breakers has grown from 3 items to 30. This sounds like wisdom. And in many ways it is. But it also makes finding someone compatible exponentially harder. You're no longer looking for someone good enough. You're looking for someone who checks every single box on an increasingly detailed list. He needs to be emotionally available, financially stable, physically fit, intellectually stimulating, socially compatible with your friends, acceptable to your family, good with kids, shares your values on religion, politics, and lifestyle, wants the same things for the future, and makes you laugh. Oh, and chemistry. Can't forget chemistry. I'm not saying you should lower your standards. But understand that every additional requirement cuts your dating pool in half. 5 requirements? You've eliminated 97% of potential partners. 10 requirements? You're looking at less than 1% of the population. The 5th factor is social circle stagnation. When you're young, you're constantly meeting new people. School. New jobs. Friends of friends. Your social circle is expanding rapidly and organically. Every party is full of strangers who might become something more. But as you age, your social circle crystallizes. You have your established friend group. You see the same people at the same events. Your coworkers are mostly married. Your friends' parties are full of other married couples. The organic opportunities to meet potential partners evaporate. Sure, there's online dating. But that comes with its own exhausting challenges. Swiping through hundreds of profiles. Messaging people who never respond. First dates that go nowhere. The efficiency that dating apps promise rarely materializes in reality. And here's what makes this factor particularly brutal. The few single people in your social circle are often single for good reasons. Either they're commitment phobic, emotionally unavailable, or have deal breakers that make them undateable. The good ones get snatched up quickly. You can't just walk into a bar and strike up a conversation like you could at 25. The social rules have changed. The opportunities have vanished. Meeting someone organically becomes increasingly rare and precious. The 6th and final factor might be the most painful. Biological realities become unavoidable. I'm not just talking about fertility, though that's certainly part of it. I'm talking about the entire biological clock that starts ticking louder with each passing year. For women, fertility concerns become pressing after 35. This adds enormous pressure to relationships. You can't just casually date for 3 years to see if it works out. Every year matters. Every relationship that doesn't work out feels like lost time you can't recover. For men, while fertility remains longer, other biological factors emerge. Energy levels decline. Physical appearance changes. The competition from younger men becomes more intense. That dad bod isn't as attractive as you hoped it would be. But beyond fertility, there's the simple reality of time. When you're 25 and a relationship doesn't work out, you have decades ahead of you. When you're 40 and a relationship fails, you feel the weight of lost years. The math becomes terrifying. How many more chances do you have? How many more years of vitality remain? This biological pressure affects every aspect of dating. It makes people more desperate. It makes people settle. It makes people rush into relationships that aren't right. Or it makes people so afraid of making another mistake that they become paralyzed and date nobody at all. The pressure to make the right choice becomes overwhelming because the consequences of choosing wrong feel catastrophic. You don't have time for another 3-year relationship that goes nowhere. You don't have energy for another heartbreak. The stakes feel impossibly high. So what do you do with this information? First, understand that these factors are real. Stop blaming yourself for finding relationships harder. It's not that you're broken or defective. The game has fundamentally changed. Second, adjust your strategy accordingly. You can't date at 40 the way you dated at 25. You need to be more intentional. More direct. More honest about what you want. The casual approach that worked in your 20s will waste precious time in your 30s and 40s. Third, consider whether some of your deal breakers are truly non-negotiable or just preferences you've elevated to requirements. I'm not saying settle for someone who doesn't respect you. But maybe that requirement that they love hiking can be relaxed if everything else is perfect. Fourth, actively expand your social circle. Join clubs. Take classes. Volunteer. Go to events alone. You cannot rely on organic meetings anymore. You have to manufacture opportunities that used to happen naturally. Fifth, if you're using dating apps, treat them like a part-time job. Dedicate real time and energy. Write a genuine profile. Take good photos. Respond thoughtfully. The half-hearted approach will get you nowhere. Finally, consider working with a therapist or relationship coach. The complexity of older dating often requires professional guidance. There's no shame in getting help navigating something this difficult. Here's the bottom line. Relationships get harder with age because of unavoidable structural factors. Your dating pool shrinks. Your life becomes less flexible. Your finances get complicated. Your standards increase. Your social opportunities decrease. And biological realities create time pressure. None of this means finding love is impossible. People find amazing relationships at every age. But it requires acknowledging these realities and adjusting your approach accordingly. The fairy tale of effortless love becomes less realistic with each passing year. Stop expecting dating to be as easy as it was in your 20s. It won't be. But armed with this understanding, you can navigate the challenges more effectively. You can make better choices. You can avoid common pitfalls. You can find love, even when the odds feel stacked against you. The question isn't whether relationships get harder with age. They do. The question is whether you're willing to adapt your approach to match the new reality. Because the alternative is staying stuck, wondering why nothing works anymore, not understanding that the entire game has changed around you.